What's up, history lovers? Today we're talking about something that's literally on your dinner plate right now, food. But not just any food. We're diving into the crazy stories of how simple ingredients literally rewrote the course of human history. I'm talking wars, empires rising and falling, entire continents being discovered, all because of what people wanted to eat. Trust me, after this video, you'll never look at your French fries the same way again. Let's start with the humble potato. Now I know what you're thinking. Potatoes are boring. They're just potatoes. Wrong. This little brown nugget from South America basically saved Europe from starvation and created population booms that changed everything. When potatoes hit Europe in the 1500s, people were suspicious. They thought they were poisonous. But here's the kicker. Potatoes could grow in terrible soil and bad weather where wheat would just give up and die. By the 1700s, countries that embraced the potato saw their populations explode. Ireland's population doubled. Prussia became a major power partly because they had more people to fill their armies, all thanks to potatoes feeding everyone. But then disaster struck in Ireland with the potato famine of the 1840s. 1 million people died, and another million fled to America. Literally half the Irish-American population exists because of a potato disease. That's the power of food, folks. Now let's talk about sugar. And oh boy, this one gets dark fast. Before the 1400s, Europeans had honey, and that was about it for sweetness. Then they discovered sugar cane and collectively lost their minds. Sugar became so valuable, it was called white gold. European powers literally went to war over tiny Caribbean islands because whoever controlled the sugar trade controlled massive wealth. But here's the thing about sugar. It completely transformed global economics. European powers invested massive amounts of money into Caribbean plantations, creating new trade networks that connected 3 continents. The sugar trade generated enormous wealth that funded entire colonial empires. Cities like Liverpool and Bristol became major ports entirely because of sugar commerce. It's incredible how one sweet crop reshaped international business and created the foundation for modern global trade. All right, let's spice things up, literally. Black pepper, nutmeg, cinnamon, cloves. These tiny seeds and bark pieces were once worth more than gold. In medieval Europe, a pound of nutmeg could buy you a house. People didn't even know where these spices came from. They just knew they were expensive and made food taste amazing. This created the world's first global trade networks. The hunt for spices is why Columbus accidentally found America. He was trying to find a shortcut to India for cheaper pepper. The Dutch fought actual wars over nutmeg islands. The British East India Company became more powerful than most governments, all because of the spice trade. Portuguese, Spanish, Dutch, British, they all built massive empires chasing after tiny aromatic seeds. Christopher Columbus literally changed world history because he wanted to cut out the middleman on cinnamon. Now let's steep ourselves in some tea drama. Tea started as this chill drink in China, but when it hit Europe in the 1600s, it became an obsession. The British especially went crazy for it. But China had very specific trade requirements for tea, which created complex international commerce challenges. Britain found itself spending enormous amounts of silver just to satisfy the growing European demand for this caffeinated beverage. So what did the British do? They got creative with trade. They started exporting their own products to China, things like wool, mechanical clocks, and later manufactured goods from their Industrial Revolution. They also developed trade partnerships with India, using Indian cotton and other goods as part of complex 3-way trade deals. This led to Britain establishing the famous East India Company's tea plantations in India and Ceylon, now Sri Lanka, basically creating their own tea supply chain. Hong Kong became British territory through these trade negotiations, and the entire British presence in Asia grew from this obsession with the perfect cup of tea. Meanwhile, in America, colonists were getting fed up with British tea taxes. The Boston Tea Party wasn't just about taxation without representation. It was about one of humanity's favorite beverages. Americans switched to coffee partly as a middle finger to British tea culture. Even today, coffee versus tea preferences still kind of follow old colonial lines. Wars have been fought over tea, empires built on it, and entire cultures defined by whether they prefer it over coffee. Let's wrap up with corn, or maize as the rest of the world calls it. This crop is absolutely insane in terms of historical impact. Corn could produce way more calories per acre than any old world crop. When Europeans brought corn back from the Americas, it allowed population explosions in places like China and Africa. More people meant more workers, bigger armies, more complex societies. So there you have it. Potatoes reshaping European demographics, sugar driving slavery, spices launching the age of exploration, tea building and breaking empires, and corn feeding population booms worldwide. Every single one of these foods sitting in your kitchen right now has blood, sweat, tears, and centuries of human drama behind it. Next time you're eating, remember, you're literally consuming history. And hey, if this blew your mind, smash that like button and let me know in the comments what food history topic you want to cover next.